This needs to happen. Please tell everyone what you just said, Raph.
All I said was that Outlander is old people's ACOTAR. That's fine.
No, why is that so true?
It's fine.
Is it?
Where is the lie?
You're right, Cass. Where is the lie?
Listen.
My brain's like peeling apart right now. They both go out the same amount at the library.
They love it. ACOTAR is like too much for them.
Sorry. Good for her. Get her coin. Get the bag.
Good for her. Get her bag.
Get her bag. Good for her.
Secure the bag.
Mm-hmm.
Secure that library bag, really. Because you guys have those holds. On holds.
We originally didn't get the second book in her Crescent City series because the first one didn't go out a lot, and then we got it recently because she had a resurgence on Book Talk. So we had to get it. I heard it's similar to, like, remember that series Fever by Moaning that we read? Moning. Wow, that's a romance series, and that's the last name, actually. It's compared a lot to that one.
I don't know what you're talking about, but I'm going to not.
I explained it in the worst way possible, in which I explained nothing. It's like an urban fantasy. It's like a modern day fantasy world, so there's a lot of supernatural people in a modern day city.
Yeah.
But everything is connected. It's all in the same universe. So that was revealed at the end of the second.
The Outlander lore? The Outlander CU?
Spoilers,
sorry. I won't say anymore. Yeah, because I know people had breakdowns over that. So,
wait, for real?
Yeah, it's like Riverdale.
So this is old people's Riverdale? Is what you're telling me?
No, not Outlander. Well, no, I feel like Outlander has to have more consistency, right?
I couldn't.
Oh, no, there are 9 books, baby. I don't know.
9 thick books.
There are 9 books.
Which one of us are you asking, Steph? I feel like
I'm just
it's me because I'm the oldest.
I'm not going to get an answer.
Yeah.
I'm not going to get an answer.
Void.
It's a mystery. Yeah, no, I won't spoil. Oh, Cass is saying nope. Okay, confirmed. Thank you, Cass.
We have our Outlander expert here.
I was going to be like, it has to be more consistent. She's been writing it since the 90s.
I feel like that actually is the exact opposite. Like, writing it since the 90s to me says there is no consistency, because what is the likelihood you forgot what you wrote back in the 90s?
But it's a historical. So you have to research, in theory, historical shit.
In theory.
In theory.
Hello.
And in theory. Hello.
Hello.
Listen, we are just excited to have Raph back with us.
Hello.
It's
in
true.
theory,
Hello.
we will survive.
That theory is rough, bud.
We're glad to have Q free from work.
Yes.
When I tell you that I am so sick of old people not knowing how to even remotely computer or read, apparently. I don't get the ACOTAR folks. I don't get the Outlander folks, apparently. It's fine. It's fully fine.
Maybe you should, if you spoke to them in like a British soothing accent? I think they'd be like on it.
Hold on, let me just
Complexion. Yep, smooth it out. Like,
yeah.
Stress going away.
Yeah. We're just gonna blot that out real quick. You know what? I may give it a try. I may. We'll see how that goes. I doubt it. Goodness gracious. Listen, I need everyone to know how to click a button and not just wait. Listen, and I'm gonna say this out loud so that the internet hears me, and
Please.
I will stand 10 toes in this. Like 90% of the medical professionals are bottoms. So I said what I said, and I meant it. Because why do I need to hold your hand through every step of the process? Why do I have to do that? You should be able to click next. You should know what to do. I shouldn't have to tell you. What am I supposed to call you a good girl? Get the fuck out of my face. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
That costs extra. Like,
It does, and they truly do not pay me enough.
I love that this is where we're starting tonight.
Listen, this is perfect energy. This is
Yeah.
perfect energy for Weston. So I'm
That's true.
fine with it.
so since Thurston's technically a medical professional, does that?
I mean, that was obvious.
Yeah.
Was it the white pants?
I mean, he's just a bold bottom.
He's a power bottom for sure. He's a power bottom.
Yeah, no, that's fair, but not one of the good ones. The ones where you're like, ooh, bro. That's a circuit party bottom. It's fine. Okay. Listen, everybody, buckle up. We're not on one. We're on several tonight.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much.
We're gonna have a
That's
time.
perfect.
It's great.
Hi, you know what? I'm gonna get us into introductions with that before we go any more off the rails without getting into character first. Hi, we are live from the apocalypse. We are a not-for-profit TTRPG studio that raises money for aid organizations and good causes. Cass. You clipped that real fast.
Amazing.
Guess that's going to be a new featured clip at some point. Perhaps to replace the one featuring me with what I said that I shouldn't have said a while back. Anyways, where was I? Yes, talking about what we do here. And what we do here is raise money for different organizations and causes that look to help others. Because of that, we ask that rather than subscribing or giving us bits or any of that other Twitch stuff, that you instead give whatever you would have given us directly to the cause that we are platforming, and that is currently Doctors Without Borders. They need no introduction. They do incredible work, and unfortunately, in these times, that work is very, very needed with what is happening in multiple countries, including what is happening in Gaza. So we ask that if you are able to donate anything, nothing is of course expected, and any amount will do incredibly good work, that you click where the subscribe button would be, and that will instead say donate. If you are on mobile, you can also type !donate at any time. The link will pop up. You will be able to access it from there. If you do that, the McElroy brothers will yell specifically at me. That is a great thing to do when I am delivering a monologue or am trying to focus on something and could otherwise lose my train of thought. The others will not hear this, but they may choose to scream in solidarity.
Or just
you
cause.
can
We'll see.
just cause, yeah. I mean, why not scream? And you can subscribe. If you were here at the beginning, you might have seen what happens when you do that. We have made it very hard for you to subscribe. We have hidden the subscribe button. If you find it, just know that there will be consequences. And there have been so many consequences over the past 4 weeks. It's been pretty unimaginable. And that consequence is Brennan Lee Mulligan, beloved Dimension 20 Dungeon Master, will kill 1 dog for every month you have been subscribed. We lost 20 dogs due to a certain person here earlier tonight. They are very proud of themselves, as you can see. And earlier this month, I think our longest streak was something like 80 dogs. So, like, don't contribute to that. We've killed well over 100. So please stop. We beg of you. Instead, donate to Doctors Without Borders. And I think with that, that's all the housekeeping I have to do. As a note, you may see that one of our lovely cast members is not currently here. She will be in due time. But before we dive in, as we will be catching up with Rachel when Della is here, I'm going to have each of you tell me who you are playing, and each playbook that you are currently playing, starting with Steph.
I'm Steph. I will be playing Kai Caldwell tonight. He uses the Martyr playbook. I also play that wet rat known as Rebecca. She uses the villain playbook. Maybe she'll make an appearance. Maybe someone else will. Who knows?
Yeah, get ready to maybe add another name to that list, but who knows? We'll see.
I might have miscounted. I might already be at 7 psychic damage, so.
I'm aware.
Yeah, I know. Just letting everyone else know I can't count, so I don't think I added Rebecca's psychic damage to when I switched back to Kai. So I think I'm at 7.
Not a math guy.
No,
I get it.
I'm not a math person. It's
It'd be like that.
All right, Q, you are up next.
Hi, I'm Q. Currently living through these always unprecedented times. I miss the days where they were precedented. You know what I mean? I'm playing Weston, Raven, and Russell, who are the villain, trickster, and child, respectively. We still got one more ghost floating around in the atmosphere somewhere. We'll see if we find them. Who knows? Who knows?
And I'm just curious, Q, where are you at with psychic damage?
I'm pretty low. I haven't taken that many. Like the reason why I got Raven is because I failed that one roll.
Yep.
I failed the echoes of the past roll that didn't go well. And then I just sort of brought Russell along for the journey. But I think I'm at like 2 or 3. We'll double check.
Incredible. I think right now, actually, Steph is the only person who has gotten a new friend, a new ghost, because of hitting 7 with psychic damage.
That
Yeah, that
tracks.
tracks.
Kai's just been taking a lot of L's. Yep.
Ooh boy, has he?
Yep.
Mine was just unlocked with trauma, so it's fine.
And speaking of that, last but not least, Raph.
Hello, I'm Raph. I play the mom of the group, Sophie, and McAllister, the child, playbook. And then I also play the papa of the group, Dr. Andrew Thurston, aka the villain playbook. Mama and Dada are here, babies. It's time to take care of me. I can't even follow through with that one. I'm so sorry.
I think you said bottom wrong, but I could be mistaken. I might have misheard.
Anyway, listen, it's 1:30 in the morning.
That is correct, because Raph is no longer on US time.
It's fine.
I'm sorry. I can't
Go
stop
ahead.
thinking about what you just said.
Go ahead.
Hi, I am JD. I'm the storyteller, and I'm going to be playing everybody else. Which, really isn't a lot, because all of you have so many fucking ghosts. Raph, no.
What?
Raph, no.
I'm just saying.
Jesus.
Well, this is where we are starting tonight.
I have to go. I'm so sorry. I have to leave. Couldn't spell the word it. We're having a time.
I love this energy. It's great. It's gonna be good things only.
Good things only, gang. Good things only.
In fucking incredible.
God.
It's fine. We're good.
All right. I'm gonna take a breath.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna cover up the chat so I can't see it. And then I think we're gonna dive right in. And before we do, I am just going to remind everyone that despite the amount of laughing we have just done at the beginning here, this is a psychological horror game. And so it involves themes and content, including cults and cult behavior, gaslighting, manipulation, medical abuse and neglect, fires and burning and being burned, serial killers and stalking. And it can also delve into moments of children being in danger and things like that, particularly with Russell. And so, with that, other themes that can come up, drowning. So, be mindful of all of those. If there are any of those that cross lines for you, please do not feel pressured in any way to watch. We have plenty of other content on this channel that does not involve any of this material. We'd love to have you here, but we do not want anyone to feel uncomfortable or have it be something where it's not a good experience. So be mindful of that. And with that, now we are going to jump right into the action. We have started here so many times before. We will start here so many times. We are starting here again, but not for the first time. The pieces here are overlapping. The pieces are intersecting. We stand in a burned husk of a building that is not a husk because it is still standing, and there is enough of it still inside to remind us of what it once was. At the same time, it is a pristine hospital with gleaming floors and fresh paint. But it is also not that anymore. It is somehow still standing against all odds. It's standing as though nothing has changed. It's standing. There are footsteps again. They are from the same person. They are from others. They are from those who walked these halls and will walk these halls. And sometimes those are one and the same. It smells here of burning. In fact, this island smells like the essence of fire. But this island also smells of blood. And it smells of salt and water. Is that the same? That salt, almost iron? And how can all of these be true at the same time? But we don't need to worry right now about what's happening outside of those walls. We settle instead into this image of this figure standing in the foyer of the husk of a building that is both new and old in the same moment, that is both destroyed and perfectly pieced together. We see this figure standing in profile And we see the layers stacked upon layers. The inquisitive and ambitious grad student who doesn't believe in being confined by ethics. The doctor who believes in his vision and the idea that the ends justify the means. And they're both ready for their next experiment. But we have to ask ourselves, is this their experiment? And with that, we're going to move away from the hospital just for a moment. We'll make our way there in due time. But instead, we are going to join the group who have been hiking to the entrance to the tunnels that run beneath certainly the TB ward. And it sounds like may run beyond that to other places within the island of Slatethorn as well. You were once a party made up of 5 people. Well, 5 is maybe simplifying things. You are now at less than that number, you realize, as you pause for a moment and notice, well, I would imagine Kai notices. We're going to get to Weston. Because Weston, I think you're maybe a bit distracted, but Kai, you realize that you and Marcus and Weston are still there together. But Rachel and Sophie are gone.
It would be great if people could stop disappearing for 5 fucking seconds on this place. Did did anyone see where Rachel and Sophie just vanished? Or
And you see Marcus kind of look around as he realizes what's happened. But we're going to move over first to Weston, because Weston, you were connecting with Russell in particular. And you were trying to see if he would be willing to help out.
Right. To tap into the power that he'd seen. To be the hero against the monster.
How is Russell feeling about Weston's request?
Scared. But something in the back of his mind, a soft voice, a whisper, a gentle hand, reminding him to be brave. Because he's been in scarier situations before. And even back then, he was told to be brave. So he takes a deep breath, uh, tries to focus. He wants to be the hero. So he's going to try with all his might to do so.
What does Russell imagine when he thinks about a hero?
I think he thinks of someone big and strong. Superheroes weren't super common. Those weren't really things. Um, Actually, no. Given the time period, I think he'd probably think a hero would be David against Goliath. Small and with merely a sling and some stones. But even the littlest guy can fell a mighty giant.
And in this moment, Russell, what is the giant you want to fell?
Bad doctor.
And so I'm going to ask because there's a couple of different roles we could make for this.
Mhm.
If you want, well, actually, I think all of them, unless you're using a move. I think it's going to be a shadow roll.
Okay. Shadow roll can do ski. All right, let me check real quick. Well, let's roll the dice and then we'll check the boy. Okay. That's 11 on the die. So I think we're sitting pretty.
Incredible.
Hi.
Hi there.
Welcome, Della.
I'm back.
Welcome.
Ah, there is the boy. We're just gonna check because I thought I had downloaded the character sheet and I had not.
Mm.
Yes. Okay. So there's no neg. So that was an 11.
Incredible. And so, just to paint the scene, in this immediate moment, we have this frozen tableau of Kai kind of looking around, or at least in the process of looking around, trying to find the missing duo. We have Sophie and Rachel in the moment missing. And we have Marcus kind of half turned back to the group. And then Weston standing there, seemingly lost in thoughts. Russell's thoughts, to be precise, because Russell, you reach out, and it's strange because this body is so much bigger than yours. You know you need to feel connected to the ground, but it seems like such a long way to get there. You're not as close to it as you used to be. And then you're moving, but not physically. Almost uncontrollably, you feel yourself pulled towards that building that you do not want to be in. But you are being so brave. You know but you can be David. And you move back through those doors despite the way it makes you shudder. And you see Dr. Thurston standing there. And you realize as you do that everything you are seeing is no longer in color. It is all in sepia and muted. But you are here. And Dr. Thurston doesn't know that you are here. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna be so quiet. I'm gonna look for. We're going with David and Goliath. We're gonna look for a stone. Yeah, that seems valid. And where it's just, yeah, just, just right for the head.
I am going to have you roll with physicality, but
Damn.
I'm going to give you a +1 to that because of your incredible success on the last roll.
Fantastic. All right. Come, young child. Okay, let's see what physicality is. Okay. That is a 7 plus 1. My physicality is 8. Plus 1 is 9. So not 10.
And so you throw the stone with strength that you really shouldn't possess. But again, it's not just your strength that you're pulling from. And it finds its mark. It strikes Dr. Thurston on the side of his head. How does he respond, Raph?
I think Thurston reaches for where the stone hit him and turns to see if there is anyone. I assume he doesn't see anything.
Correct.
And I think he just stares in that direction, almost accidentally making eye contact with Russell. And just says, there's a rat. There's an infestation. And it must be cleansed. And I think he walks off.
Raph, take 3 points of psychic damage.
What? Brother. Okay. That's Thurston.
As Thurston.
Yeah. We're good.
Okay. He's running away.
He's calmly stepping purposefully in the opposite direction.
He's running like the bitch he is. So I think with the enemy on the retreat, I think Russell's gonna be a little brave. Gonna try and make a sound. Yeah, it's just one of those. not afraid of you anymore. Now you're the scaredy cat. And we're going to see if there's a response.
You hear those words, Dr. Thurston, and you recognize that voice. It's that
I
little
think-
brat Russell.
Yeah. He pauses in his step. And I think subconsciously touches where he was just hit. And before he turns around, just says, room 256. It's good to hear your voice again. And then I think he just turns his head, this time looking at Russell without looking at Russell, and just says, maybe this time you'll be an art piece.
I was always the artist. You were a faker.
I don't think Thurston laughs. I think he's just straight faced, still looking over his shoulder. And I don't know if I think he takes a beat, and then just says, I'm not sure how it is that you are here without a body, but I suppose it is an interesting addition to the experiment. I will see you soon, room 256.
It's 265, and my name is Russell. Before Dr. Thurston tries to get out or leave, I would like to do a thing just as a parting gift. We're gonna see, because now he's like, I got power. We're gonna see how much we have. So I would like to just bring any floating debris just sort of into the middle.
Roll with shadow.
Hell yeah. That would be a 9.
Incredible.
And so, Dr. Thurston, as you stand there looking down the hall in the direction this voice has come from, you start to see a ripple. What does it look like as Russell does this cue?
I think with the emboldening, embracing the fact that he is also connected to the power and he's an artist, I think the ripple starts to take form and looks like a rhino. It's disproportional, but right, like it's a childhood's imagining of a rhino. Like the horn is just a little too big, like the body slopes in a way that physically, like if this was an actual creature, it would not be able to stand. But it is charging forward with abandon.
And so Actually, I'm gonna ask you, Dr. Thurston, how would you like to deal with this charging rhino coming at you?
I think Thurston is more interested in seeing how this goes instead of potentially being her. I don't think he's afraid of being her physically. So I think he just turns to face the rhino and just, I think he extends a hand almost to, as it gets closer, pet it.
And so, what you see, Russell, is this constructed rhino made of the debris that you've pulled together is charging. You can hear footsteps falling heavy. You see it gathering momentum, and it is headed straight towards Dr. Thurston. And Dr. Thurston raises his hand. And just before the debris would make contact, it collapses to the floor in front of him. And it's in that moment that you feel your energy fading because you've just done something really, really big. Many things really, really big. You came here without a body. You threw a stone without a body. You just built something that you've never built before. And you feel yourself starting to be pulled back towards Weston.
I think Thurston. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
You first. Go for it.
Okay. I think when the rhino collapses, Thurston gives a short smile and says, "You surprise me, child. I suppose I will give some thought in making you a masterpiece."
I don't think there is a response. I think Russell will return. It is not in fear, but it is a child who has tuckered himself out. But like hasn't really but doesn't have the fight to like grumble about sleep. And it will be nice to be back with the people that he has somehow found comfort with. Better to be with the monster he knows and likes than the monster he doesn't, right? So yeah, I think he'll head back.
And so, with that, we will leave Dr. Thurston for a moment at the TB ward.
Yeah. His hand just kind of like, again, subconsciously lingers on where the rock was thrown at his head.
And I mean, with that, Dr. Thurston, you realize there's blood on your hand. Starting to drip and stain that white. of your pants.
Yeah, I think he just walks off into where.
And we're actually going to hop over to you, Rachel, because you have not yet rejoined the group. Sorry, that is adorable, and I'm dying.
This is my project for tonight. This is a little alpaca floof bear that I got for my daughter for Christmas, and Bazooka got to it. My dog got to it and like got it all messed up. So I'm using my wool carding combs to like get it back fluffy again because she saw it and oh my god, she was just screaming, Miss Fluff, my Fluff.
Oh no!
So I promised her I would fix it tonight. So
I'm actively dying.
yeah. In case you're wondering, I'm playing the parent playbook.
The actual mother. The
Yeah.
actual mother.
The actual mom.
The trio mom. Yep.
Anyway, yes. Rachel, what's Rachel? What happened? What happened to Rachel?
And so, Rachel, I think actually where we first see you is standing in between two trees, now just a few steps away from your companions. But your gaze is very distant because you, or one of you, is still remembering what you just saw. Because you had been walking alongside the rest of the group, you had been speaking with them. And then all of a sudden, you weren't with them. And it felt strange. It felt, well, almost like you were watching this from the third person, like you weren't fully in your body. And you watched as you moved through the trees, driven by something. Maybe the smell of smoke and fire, but that's something that's there all over this island. So why here? This place has no relevance for any of you. Except that it does, because there's an item tied around a tree branch. A simple item that no one else would probably look twice at because what would it matter to them? But what does that green ribbon mean to one of you?
There was a time in my life where I might have been something very different. I might have been someone different, someone less damaged, someone less driven to see the damage in the world, to repair that which was broken too badly for anyone else. That person is long dead. I reach out and pick up the ribbon, take the ribbon down off the tree, and very, very gently tie like a little perfect little satiny bow, sort of gently smoothing out the soft edge, making sure the sort of shiny inner lining, the shiny lining is all on the inside, making sure it's all just this perfect little bow. This should have burned with the rest of me. Interesting that it didn't. They'll slip that bracelet onto their wrist, biting down on the loops, tighten the satin ribbon to their wrist, and say, "This must be an omen. My time has come again. I will do great things on this island." Hi, Raiders. I'm up to stuff.
That
Oh, no.
transition between the voice to then welcoming our raiders was incredible.
Your response.
I'm full of shenanigans tonight. I got a fluffy, cuddly bear and a whole house full of ghosts.
And an absolutely unhinged voice. It's fantastic.
It's
Listen.
incredible.
Oh,
So yes, welcome raiders. This is Redacted, our psychological horror game. Just so you know, it does involve a whole lot of themes and content that can be a bit much. So cult, gaslighting, manipulation, medical abuse and neglect, drowning, serial killing, ritualistic murder. All of these are things that may come up, so we definitely welcome you to stay. But also, if you would rather just follow and jump onto one of our other streams that are a little less intense in terms of subject matter, we also understand that as well. But thank you. And so, to the bearer of the sacred flame, you do all of that as you described, but there is a moment. It is the moment that you are creating the bow out of the ribbon, that you look at it in your hands and you see it wreathed in flame. You see it blackening and burning. And then you see it as it is right now. And you're right, it was supposed to burn with everything else. How could it not have? Is this the same ribbon? What lets you know that it is?
I hold and take a deep breath. And it smells like, hold on, I gotta look something up real quick. Okay, yes. I had to make sure this particular smell had been released at this point. It smells like my mother's perfume. It smells like Chanel number 5.
It sure does. When you make your way back to the rest of the group, who is in control?
It's got a D4. Somebody wanna
I love the idea of rolling for it. Yeah, I'm happy to
somebody
roll for
wanna
it.
somebody wanna roll a D4 for me?
Got to find my D4, but
Yeah, I don't actually have a
got him right
uh
here. There we
I don't know that
go.
I have a
GD has a
D4 in my
whole
bag.
pile of dice right by the computer.
Well, I organized them into bags by type. So.
Oh wow!
Oh,
Look at you.
nice. Look at
That is a
you.
3.
A 3. Okay. So I think as we start to walk, it's very much the bearer, and they have that gait. They're slow and unhurried as they walk, and very sort of straight spine, loose shoulders, kind of as if the whole world is a curtain they're about to step through. But at a certain point, you start to see little like twitches in the face, indicating that a war is going on inside, and you eventually the gate changes into something much more just like a little more no nonsense, a little more like uh still very straight back, still very like shoulders back, very, but it's much more no nonsense. It's much more uh paternal in a lot of ways. It says, no, nope. I think we will be having none of that. That does not seem like what would Rachel call it? The vibe. I don't think so. I don't think so.
Incredible.
What is this on my wrist? I don't. It's very pretty. I will keep it.
And you rejoin 3 of the others. You see Kai kind of looking around. You see Weston blinking, and you see Marcus looking back at you, his brow furrowed. You
Where
do
is
not see Sophie.
the small and crazy one?
I mean, that's what I was trying to figure out. Welcome back. I guess. Yeah, welcome back. Yeah, Sophie's been doing that lately.
Am I back in my body? Okay. All right, back in our body. It's our body, comrade. I think for a moment, for a little while actually, Weston has been just sort of straight, eyes unfocused, that full 1,000 yard, it's million yard stare. And then it's sort of as the question is posed about where Thurston is, a hand comes up pointing in the direction of the TB ward, uh, and then the body comes to Probably looking a little tired. Thurston's in the ward.
Fantastic.
He's got a head wound, if that helps.
I think it does. Weirdly enough, yeah. No, I think that's a good thing right now.
Good.
It probably is.
Yeah, little guy in here decided he wanted to be David to Thurston's Goliath, and well, it almost worked. Like, really well. It worked, but I think he was going for like full like head off. That didn't quite happen.
Hey, you know what? That was a real good try, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
Good job.
That is very good. I may have said before. I may have said before that Dr. Thurston is not someone to worry about, that their sin is more of negligence than anything else. That was mainly to piss him off. Dr. Thurston is an extremely dangerous man, and we should probably not make the mistake of underestimating him, because I would hate to have to burn down a whole nother building just to
Let's
get rid
just
of
I
run.
him.
mean, if he's in the
Let's
TV
just
ward,
run.
it's the
Let's
same
run by
building.
that. Nope. Hold on, Kai. Hold on. I'm gonna stop you right there.
That's
Let's
fine.
run that back one more time. Do what now?
Oh, I burned down the TB ward.
Oh, I didn't process that. That was you.
Thank you, Kai. Thank you for catching up.
Sorry, I was just focused on getting rid of some fucking ghosts.
No, for sure. Okay, so you were the fire starter. Why?
I suspect it is not popular to think this way now. It wasn't even popular to think this way in my day. But do you believe in that a place can be cursed?
Yes.
Yeah.
They make movies about that all the time.
Of course. That place was deeply and profoundly cursed, and the only way I knew of to pretend to stop it all was to stop it all at
Okay.
once. Perhaps, I'm going to tell you, I'm drifting toward France. May come back.
It do be like that sometimes.
Yeah, I always, any accent I do
Just
drifts
taking a
towards some
little
attempt at
trip.
Irish.
We're taking a little trip. We're just
taking
going
a
to
little
visit Alsace
vacation.
Lorraine. Okay, the Germans taking a little vacation into France in 1914 was not great for anybody. So we're gonna reel it in.
Anyway.
Sorry. I'm going to say it worked.
But did it though? Because we still got ghosts, and the whole island's cursed. So
And it's not completely burned down.
Okay. Fine. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. We are all very intelligent people. I'm sure we will. We are smart. We'll get it.
Okay, so do we need to complete the burning, or do we need to like hug and say sorry for burning things or something? I really want to know. You know what? We're going to go see the crazy man in the tunnels. I'm sorry, the not crazy person in the tunnels. My bad.
Yeah.
Sorry, Marcus.
The dude who might have some insight. Maybe.
Yes. I would like to speak with this person. I think they probably have.
You probably should speak to someone.
Yes.
I'm sorry. I'm not really wanted to say that. Sorry.
Marcus is like listening and trying not to listen, particularly once the topic of arson came up. He has been trying to pretend that none of this is happening, except for when he hears his name, and reluctantly tunes in for a moment,
Hey.
and then
Hey.
Oh, what
Hey.
are you going to do about it? I have been dead. It happened in I don't know what.
100-year-old arson.
Yes, I'm extremely dead.
Let me make something very clear, Marcus. I need you to be tuned in at all times. We are trying to fix this situation, so there's no plausible deniability for this, okay? We're all in the shit together. You got me?
If your plan might be to burn down the TB ward again, I don't think that I, as the mayor, should know about that.
I said the whole
Fine.
island, if that helps. I said the whole island.
Why would we do that? Why would we hurt more people? That doesn't make any sense.
Okay, well, maybe someone can call the boats and bring the boats
Well, it's a
back, and we can
Geneva
get the
Convention
people
issue.
out of here.
No, I'm sure there's something better that we can do that will make. We will talk to the strange hermit that lives in the tunnels, and I'm sure through some, I don't know, Apollo-inspired trance with the strange chemicals and shit that's down there, we will,
Oracle bullshit. Yep.
we'll find our own strange sewer-dwelling Sybil.
I'm just bringing him Mountain Dew and Doritos.
Look, whatever will get him to help.
Don't know what those are.
They're gross. And the fact that this person wants those tracks in my mind. It makes absolute sense.
Just
Quick question. Do we think Mountain Dew and Doritos would kill?
yeah.
He
He needs a vegetable.
How
Anyone
intense?
from the 1910s?
It's true. They had not invented that much concentrated nacho cheese flavor.
But they had like cocaine in all their medicine.
That's fair.
I'm not sure that taking a massive quantities of stimulants and then eating Doritos is better.
That sounds like a Good Friday.
I'm not gonna disagree.
And that's a doctor speaking right there.
As a professional, I can't recommend
Medical professional,
it.
yeah.
But
anyway,
Nacho Doritos and that cocaine Coca-Cola.
Okay, well, he likes Mountain Dew and Doritos. Anyways, shall we?
Yes.
I guess we're gonna leave.
We're gonna deal with that after we get some advice.
Look,
I don't want to be caught off guard
gone.
again.
Sophie's gone. Just go ahead and call that a wrap. It's fine.
why would we assume that she is gone? Because Rachel is not gone just because I am here, I think. Rachel, are you there? She is there.
Okay. Yeah, so Sophie already unhinged.
Yes.
Now you add Dr. Bad Touch.
Yes.
It's double bad. I just think we just throw the whole man's out. Throw it to whoop. Gotta go.
Agree. What if like they're annoying each other though?
You know, I really feel like the intensity with which she was so excited about murder probably fine with these experiments. I don't know how much she values the human life. I'm gonna be real honest with you.
No, that tracks actually, unfortunately.
Maybe she'll be able to finish her thesis with this.
I am going to say, she's finishing a thesis. She is a graduate student.
Yeah, so here's the thing.
Yeah.
I don't believe that. I'm gonna be real with you. I don't believe it. She keeps saying it, but the way she says it, it kind of feels like she's telling that to mom and dad, who she probably calls by first name. Listen,
I'm not trying to be offensive. I'm not trying to be offensive when I say this, but I suspect you are projecting.
Which part?
The calling parents by the first name. You give that vibe off as well.
Oh, yeah, no, my parents were dead, so didn't really have an interaction with them.
I apologize.
Oh, it's all good. I Didn't know him enough to care. So we need to go speak to the. You said Sybil,
Hermit, dude.
the hermit.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sybil. Yes,
Yeah.
Sybil. Please make it happen.
Yes. Cassandra of the Caves. Yeah, sure.
That's kind of a
Alright.
dope name.
That's good.
And yeah, let's head to the tunnels. And Marcus only takes a few more steps before there isn't anything there. Like, initially, you see him walk up, and you're like, okay, you just stepped into a slight clearing anywhere that could have been like a little side path, not even a path. What are you doing? And then he kneels down and pulls the dirt and grass right over what it's covering, which is a hatch that he opens. And beyond it, there is darkness. And for a moment, you just see the top rungs of a ladder that goes down, but you can't see anything more. And you wait and you watch because you think maybe it takes a moment for the lights to go on. Maybe it's part of the process, but no. The four of you are going to be climbing down into darkness. But we'll get to that in a moment because we're going to pan away and return to the ward. What is Dr. Thurston preparing?
I think Thurston hasn't fully had a chance to walk through the ward. And so he is taking a moment to see what is left. If I recall correctly, the answer is nothing, except for basically his office and maybe some like scattered bits and bobs.
Well,
Okay.
what would Dr. Thurston hope to see there?
That's a good question. I think he would hope to find his tools or an assortment of tools um, used throughout his typical procedure. Um, I think he probably has a small bag with some of the items in there, some of the smaller items, but maybe a gurney, some sort of like strange light IV drips, stuff like that, like medical supplies um, that he would be familiar uh, for his process.
You move through the charred remains of the different rooms, and even though anything there should either be ash or so damaged that it would not be useful, you find those exact pieces almost like they flicker into existence, or like they were left for you. You're not quite sure which, if it's brushing off a layer of dirt and soot and uncovering it, or if as you touched that rubble, it gave you exactly what you needed.
As he touches the items and brushes his hand along the walls, kind of dusting the ash and whatever has built up, leaving his fingertips black. He looks up and just, I hear you. And I will continue my work. Be assured of that. And I think he starts setting up the room as if he's preparing for a patient.
And Dr. Thurston, as you look up, who do you believe that you're speaking to?
I don't think Thurston believes in a Christian God per se, or any sort of religious God. I think when Thurston, I think he feels no connection to a religion specifically, as he was somewhat abandoned. He feels. I think he is drawn now and speaks to how do I describe this? The souls of the past, specifically souls that have also experimented and view the world as grounds for research and making it a better place. I think he just kind of speaks to those trapped, waiting for the experiment to be done.
And that is interesting, Dr. Thurston, as you are getting the room set up for the procedure and you are speaking to those from the past and reflecting on this experiment, because someone is hearing you and someone is watching. And they are eagerly awaiting to see what happens next. And that is where we're going to take our break.
Who the fuck is there, JD?
Don't like it.
Don't worry about it. It's fine. Don't
Too
go
late.
anywhere. We're going to be back in 10 minutes
Souls of the
if the cast
past.
hasn't murdered me.
You're fine.
Is it?
Hmm.
See you
Is
soon.
it fine?
Bruh.
Is it?
So
It's a
this
little
is my.
Sometimes you just
This
want
is.
a little
I just want a little
coffee.
coffee. I just want a little
Coffee.
iced latte for myself.
Yeah.
You know.
That seems absolutely fair and valid. Love that for you.
Mhm.
I couldn't resist bringing us live on that.
Oh, that's good.
Valid.
That's good.
Love a little espresso.
And so now that we are hydrated and have some non-caffeinated beverages, we're going to be doing a bit of a descent into darkness. And that
Huh?
is where we're going to begin this second part. And so
Oh, right, the tunnels. I thought. Since we
what
left
did
off
you
with that, what the fuck that was? Okay, I was just
Yeah.
like, where are we? What? What hell? Okay, never mind.
I mean, to be fair, our descent into madness has well and truly been underway for a while,
Oh,
so
yes.
it's fine.
We've been on that train. Yeah.
Correct.
Riding it.
Correct.
who goes first?
Marcus knows where he's going.
Oh, absolutely. I will go. I will go. 100%. Unless one of these people needs help descending, I will go first. This seems fun.
Finley's got it.
Wait, you got a light, Marcus? Like, is the dude just living in the dark down there?
We
Oh,
had
Rachel has an extra headlamp. If
Okay.
you
Oh,
if you need it, like unzips fanny pack, produces headlamp.
I'll take it. Fully secure.
Okay. Then I'll go after Finley. You go after me. That way I've got light on both sides. I mean, no, that way I have light on both sides.
Uh-huh. Sounds good.
And so, Finley, you begin climbing down. It is the type of ladder where it's just the rungs like melded into the side. And you feel the rusted and somewhat corroded metal under your hands, though it seems secure. None of them feel like they're about to break.
This is the wrong campaign for me to ask about code compliance, but believe me, I am thinking it. That's next Thursday.
It is a fair thought to be having, though. This is definitely not up to code compliance whatsoever.
OSHA is very concerned about this existence of all of this.
That's the question, though. Does OSHA know about any of this?
I can only assume no. How high? JD, how high does this conspiracy go? Into the upper levels of the Office of the Health and Safety Administration.
Even they will just turn away and ignore what goes past their desks.
My God.
I'm curious, has Finley ever been in the tunnels before?
I think Finley is the kind of guy who always kind of wanted to. I think it was always like, oh, yes, next weekend I am going to go and I'm going to check out the tunnels. And then that weekend would happen and somebody would invite him over to play bridge and he would go do that instead, or he would get caught up with work and all of that. I think it was always something he wanted to do. And it's sort of very in keeping with like how he perceives himself as like the guy who explores a cool cave. But I think he never. It was always just there in the background, so there was never that sort of like how you always mean to visit the museum that's in your hometown, and then you never really do. It's he had that relationship with the caves. It was always like available, and so he never did it.
That is very fair. So you are getting to explore an area that you have not been in before, but always wanted to. What did you expect the tunnels to be like? And what are you imagining as you make your way down rung by rung by rung, deeper and deeper?
Finley's mind is big drama all the time. So I think in his mind, when he was thinking, oh yes, the caves under the island, there was very much like this, like, oh, there's going to be like big stalactites and stalagmites. There's gonna be bats, and there's gonna be like probably a guy in a big swishy cape, and it's like gonna be, there's gonna be like a cool underground pool with mirror like water, and it's going to be all very gothic horror. It's all going to be very gothic, very, very operatic down here. um so I think there's a part of him that's uh kind of disappointed in the reality of, like, yeah, it's an island, like cave. It's basically like an old lava tube, you know, back from when this place is more tectonically active. It smells weird down here. People have been throwing trash down here for a long time, and my hands are, uh, well, it feels like my hands should be getting achy climbing down this thing. My hands would have been getting achy climbing down these things. These hands, though, these are solid hands for climbing down shitty, nasty ladders. Uh, So that's kind of where Finley's head is at. He's very, he's trying to make the best of it. It's like, yes, I'm sure it would be interesting. We get to the bottom, and it would be, I'm sure it would be more interesting, and this strange man will be interesting as well. He probably won't be wearing a cape. But we can't expect the world to be perfect, can we?
Raph, I am curious. What does Dr. Finley see as he finally reaches the bottom rung of the ladder and steps onto Earth? And I want to be clear, I'm not asking what he sees in terms of Evans. I'm wondering what the tunnel or the space looks like specifically for Dr. Finley.
I think Dr. Finley, with his active imagination, I think as soon as his feet kind of thud to the floor, expecting stone, trickled water, even, I think as he turns from the ladder, he finds a long hospital hallway.
This is very strange. He will step forward from the ladder, uh, making space for the others to come down behind him, and then he'll sort of walk over to the wall and place a hand on the wall. Does it feel like a hospital wall? Does it feel like the sort of old paint, and it doesn't feel like a cave wall?
It does not. It feels like you are in exactly the space that you appear to be in.
Interesting. Interesting.
We're gonna leave Dr. Finley there for a moment, and I believe it was Kai who was next in the list. Or was it Weston?
He was-
Weston. Okay. What's going through Weston's head as he makes his way down?
He's sort of different minds at the moment. On the one hand, he's very focused on getting down to see the creepy hermit. There's a brief moment of making sure the kid is still there. And also, especially because I feel like in a tunnel, sense will linger, especially because I just have passed, the same path that Finley, and Rachel et al. Have. He probably smells Chanel number 5. And so there's that hesitation when he gets that smell that is very familiar and not in a way that is pleasant. So there's always that lingering hesitation.
I
But
I
what?
I'm just gonna I don't think that Raven would ever have known that from.
No?
No, that's not something Raven would have known. That this was like a deeply private part of
Oh.
the bearer's past.
Oh. I mean, that I wouldn't necessarily think he would know what it means.
But the disquietude would be present.
Right.
Yes. Got you.
Right.
Got you.
Because I imagine that being as close as they were with the sort of organization, he would
Mhm.
recognize the scent every now and then, even if he didn't.
The bearer burned that before they formed the
Before that. Okay.
organization. So it
Then
would
he
have
was.
been before the organization. Yeah, sorry.
However, that's fair. That's fair as hell.
I was
But
thinking you were. I think I was thinking you were referring to someone different when you said that.
Oh, no. I was thinking of that guy.
Yep.
However, the disquiet is still there because he'd showed up for a second. Right. Okay. So, but yes. Yeah. So he's a little nervous because he was close to the surface. I think, and we don't know why or if he'll be back. We don't care for that. But yeah, we're continuing down.
How does Russell in particular feel about this return being this close to the ward, being underneath it?
I think were he more coherent at the moment, he would be a bit more nervous, though comforted by the presence of others. He realizes he's not alone, and there are people that are actually listening to him. But I think right now he's just sort of a tired boy. So he's just along for the ride. There is that understanding that like, oh, they're close, but they're not there.
And so, Raph, once again, I'm gonna ask you, what does the trifecta in Weston's body see as they step down off that rung?
With that final step, I think Weston turns and sees a very, very clearly high end and respectable waiting room. There's coffee and water available, plush chairs, and plants, and a door where the doctor would come out. And you're called.
And Weston, you realize that you were following the glow of Finley's light and then the light that Kai had coming after you. You are surprised at how bright it suddenly is because it was dark and now you're in this well-lit, spacious area. And Dr. Finley is nowhere in sight.
It could just be that we go where we're supposed to go. That'd be so great. So nice, actually. You said that there's a door that leads into this waiting room. Is that the only door? Hmm. Okay. All right, cool. I'm gonna look around for something heavy.
There are plants.
Okay. Nothing handheld.
I mean, you could
Magazines.
lift up the container, but nothing smaller than that. Nothing that you
Gotcha.
could palm and hide.
No one, not palm and hide, brandish. So, is there a chair? A nice chair?
There are nice chairs. I think, though, they are the sort that, despite this being a nice place, are all essentially bolted to the floor.
I hate this with every fiber of my being. It's okay. Okay. All right. So we're gonna. mm, We've got a jacket. Mm, I think we're going to wrap. We're gonna take the shirt off. We're gonna wrap the wrist. Hold on. The window. Is there a window for the door? Is it a solid door? That's an important question.
The solid door.
Fuck, of course it is. I hate this so
In
much.
fact, I am going to add, it is, you can clearly see it is one of those offices where you need a key card swipe to get through that door.
Cool. 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 I'm gonna take a pot, I'm gonna break a pot, and I'm gonna keep a shard of the pot. We'll see if it's cut worthy.
And so we'll leave Dr. Finley in the hallway, Weston in the waiting room, and we'll go to Kai.
Yeah.
What's going through Kai's head as he makes this descent?
Well, he's kind of at the moment wondering, how the fuck is this guy living in a dark, dang tunnel for who knows how the fuck long? What does he look like? He probably still gonna look normal. But that tracks with this island. And he's just kind of focused, like, it's just like tech work backstage in the dark. You're used to moving in the dark with minimal lights. It's just, in some old cave system bootleg tunnel situation on a haunted island, but we're just gonna fake it till we make it. So he's just trying to ignore the circumstances and focus on the sort of like muscle memory of moving in backstage areas. And it that reminder kind of helps him physically at least settle enough to just keep his focus going down the ladder.
And as you're making your way down the ladder, Kai, sometimes in moments like this, even being focused on, let's make sure I don't miss the next rung, that muscle memory that you're describing kicks in and thoughts start to drift. And you find yourself hearing snippets of things that Dr. Finley has said. And there is something about his intonation, his voice, that won't leave you alone. That's starting to seep in. And I'm wondering how Mrs. Finley feels hearing her husband's voice after so long.
I think after so long, she freezes on the ladder just as the kind of emotions overwhelm her. She's never been a more logically minded person. That's always Dr. Finley's area. Uh, but just the emotion just kind of makes her. Ooh, it has been far too long, and this is not. This is not ideal. It's not ideal at all. But Finley is down the ladder, so down the ladder we go, just faster than before.
And what does Mrs. Finley and Kai and Rebecca see as they step down from that final rung?
As I step down from that final rung, they are on a moving subway. I don't know if you can hear that. That is the him scratching around. His fingers are loud. Anyway, they step down onto a moving subway alone. Surprisingly clean. Although the lights flicker.
A headlight.
And I think not directly in front of them, but if they were to turn and look down this tunnel of subway cart, they would see on the side, one of the doors is an old wooden door.
Subway, like a train. Fascinating. Assuming there's no other doors that look like they're open, given that it's a moving subway and everything is speeding by. Well, sometimes we just go for the obvious, I suppose. And she will just kind of straighten her shoulders, crack her neck, and go over to the door and just kind of press your ear against it for a moment before trying the handle.
What does she hear?
I think, first of all, I think she would recognize it as the front door to her home.
Oh. Oh, we're doing the mind games again, aren't we? That's so precious, Andrew. So precious. And she just opens the door, just purposefully flings it open, sees what's there.
It's stairs down to the basement.
Oh, I do have the light. And she will just make her way down the stairs. Very much listening, looking, trying not to get caught off guard.
Yeah, Justin, fucking
This whole place is designed to
rip
be
it, baby.
off guard.
Slop that down,
Thank
dude.
you for the
Yeah,
donation.
dude, crack one for the big boy.
Also,
That's been my brain this whole session, just screaming internally.
That's valid. It's fair and valid.
Thank you for the donation, Della. So, before you walk down the stairs, Mrs. Finley, there's a moment, just a moment, where something shifts around each of you. And it's almost like with a flickering light, you each went from where you were, a hallway, heading down the steps into the basement, in the waiting room of an upscale medical office. You're back in the tunnel, and you can see each other. What do you say in the 30 seconds that you have?
30 seconds? What?
Okay, he's playing mind games again.
Real
So,
quick. Sorry.
go ahead.
What is Mrs. Finley's first name? We don't know
Ivy.
that we Ivy. Okay. Ivy.
James.
Oh, we
Like-
don't have time for reunions. No, surely not. Hey, so happy that you're that
My husband.
great,
Nice.
cool.
I'm Ivy. Nice to meet you.
Weston.
Sorry you're not happily married, Weston.
I am married.
Not happily, I suppose. Anyway, what is this mess?
It's Thurston.
Mm-hmm.
Mm,
Yes, it
Yeah.
does have his feelings all over it.
Okay. Do you know how to stop him?
He didn't have these capabilities before that I was aware of. He is meticulous, he is dangerous, he is organized. If you throw off his methods, his organization, it will potentially throw him off.
We break the experiment.
Yes.
And that is the last thing that each of you hear from one another
Oh, no,
before
no, 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 no,
you
no.
are back to where you were moments before.
This time I am going to break his teeth. Basement stairs it is.
Dr. Finley, what do you do?
You should talk to me again, Andrew. Like the old days. You took so much money from me in poker. That's what we are doing again. Testing my poker face. No, I suspect you tired of that experiment. $100 in.
At the end of the hallway, one of the doors swings open.
Oh, this is how we communicate, perhaps. That's fine.
Dr. Finley, as you're walking, you're starting to feel warm. Like there is a fire building inside of you. But what is a fever if not a fire?
I am going to where's my move sheet? I'm going to roll with awareness to check out what in the what is going on around me. And that move is called. It
Read
has
the
a
room?
name. What
Or
was that?
no,
Yeah,
your
read.
special. Yep.
No, read the
Read the
room. I'm not using. Finley is not integrated with Rachel and Siobhan.
That is correct.
Like he can feel that they're there, but he's not trading places and melding with them the way they did with one another. Yeah, so I am. Yeah, I'm just gonna read the room.
All right, roll with awareness.
Ooh, I rolled a 6 and a 5, which is good because I have a 0 awareness. So I got an 11.
Incredible.
They're my Nephilim dice too. What doesn't belong here? And obviously this whole thing doesn't belong here. But what are the cracks in the facade?
I have some thoughts, but as this is a creation of Dr. Thurston, I am at least going to let Raph be the one to start the answer to this question.
I think you would see this hallway flicker, and in between those blinks, you would see not necessarily the tunnel, but fire and a forest and the streets of the island. I think the cracks that would show, in my mind, would be that trying to accommodate one room for multiple people can be very demanding.
And I think within that, Dr. Finley, as you're seeing that flicker, there's a moment that you almost don't catch because in a lot of ways it looks so similar to the hallway you've been perceiving that you are walking down. But you realize just for a moment that the paint color is different. The tiles are a different pattern. And it is not a place you recognize. It does not belong here.
Interesting. Okay. What what clues do I see from the past?
What have you left for Dr. Finley?
I think there's enough, despite this hallway being different. I think there's enough familiarity, like trying to remember your home in a dream where things are where they're supposed to be, not because that's where they are in reality, but that's where they are in your mind. It doesn't need to make sense, it just is. And so I think, despite the hallway looking different, despite the doors being different, despite it flickering, I think Dr. Finley knows exactly where he is.
And I think alongside that, Dr. Finley, it takes a bit for you to answer that question because in a hospital hallway, you don't necessarily need clues. You know what happened at the TB ward because you were the cause of it. And that that changes things a bit because in this immediate environment there isn't necessarily anything that would stand out as wanting to be found. It's more that you start to think about the fact that there were so many people at the TB ward when it burned. There were so many who died before that. Where have they all gone? You remember what Marcus said about the fact that there are people who have different individuals involved in these events involved in them, and you also know that the TB ward did not seem to be necessarily the most common one, despite that being the greatest loss of life that there has been. And you look up, and you're not sure why, because what are you expecting to see there? But your eyes are scanning You're very keen, Dr. Finley, and your eyes catch on something that shouldn't be there. You don't necessarily register what it is because you haven't seen anything quite like it. But there is a small black item up in the corner with a blinking red light.
What is this thing?
We're going to leave Dr. Finley staring at that. We're going to move back to Weston.
Okay. I think Weston is sitting on one of the bolted down chairs, head leaned back against the wall. He's just thinking. And I think he is calling both uh, Raven and Russell. Okay. So I think maybe the three of us together can work this out. Russell's tapped in to the power of the island too. I tried, didn't work out, and Raven, you seem too high to do so. But this is all just energy, right? Really fucked up, dark-sided energy, but energy nonetheless. So let's say we think of a way out of this room before I gain claustrophobia as one of the things that I'll have for the rest of my life. So I want to try with Russell looking around, just thumb in the mouth, deep in concentration as he looks around. And there's a skill that I have. There's a move that I have. No, that's just the truth. It's just the truth. Can't just make a thing happen. However, I think Russell is trying to just sort of do like Dr. Thurston did to the rhino. He wants to make this stop.
I'm gonna have you roll with Shadow, but I'm gonna have you roll at a -1.
Oof, that's big rough, buddy. Oh
Because
no,
as you said, Russell is an EP boy.
he's Evie boy. He is Evie.
Boy.
He's just out here
needs a
doing him
nap.
best. He needs a
He did-
nap and a fruit snack.
He does. He did so good earlier.
So JD, hey, how you doing? How you doing? What does a 1 get me? Sorry, no. I'm sorry. No, it's just Shadow was 0. So yeah, what's a 1 get me? What's
An
what can we do with that?
unprecedented roll, an absolutely unprecedented roll. What does Dr. Thurston do in response to Russell trying to interfere with his experiment?
I think Russell's looking around, right? He's trying to find some sort of crack.
Mm-hmm.
And I think as he's browsing, he opens his eyes and he sees what wasn't there before, a perfectly sized train set and a bowl of snacks.
Wow.
And my goodness, those chairs look very comfortable.
Well, Russell has trains to play with and snacks to have. So he's gonna enjoy those. And Weston is just kind of like, do I see it as Weston, or is we? I guess we're just in one body right now still. So we're playing with toys. I think then we're gonna give the boy a chance to, to enjoy the playtime. But I think actually Raven might try and step in.
And I'm gonna say, given that one, that
Mm-hmm.
Raven tries, but your entire body is just so tired. It's like leaden, like you are weighted down. And it's one of those times where you're just so fatigued that you think, I'm gonna just rest my head, gonna rest my eyes for a moment, and you curl up, arms wrapped around you, because you're also feeling cold, but it doesn't feel quite right. Like you feel like you need warmth, more warmth than you're getting, but you feel sweat starting to break out all over your body.
Cool. Well, that's fun.
And it's fine. It's so fine. Like, I
It's
wouldn't
not.
worry about any of this.
It's absolutely not is the thing. Thank you so much for lying to me, though. I appreciate it.
I try.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I guess come back to me or don't. I don't know. I guess I'm just there for the time being.
Have a little nap.
You're gonna get a little nap. I wouldn't worry about it at all.
I would, but that's just me, I guess.
And so, again, we are going to leave Dr. Finley, who is staring up at the camera, and Weston, who is sleeping beside the toys and snacks. we're going to head down into the basement. And the first question I just need to ask is, are the lights working down there?
I know they're not. I have a headlamp on. If I go back up the stairs, is my door still there?
No.
Oh,
No,
okay.
Oh,
It's gone.
it's gone. It's just a wall.
okay. So using the light, just standing at the foot of the stairs, what does Ivy see as she just scans whatever this room is?
It's not a room.
Oh,
It's just a wall to one side, a railing on the other, and stairs descending beyond the light of the headlamp.
so just like endless stairs. I don't see a bottom.
Not yet.
Kai, give me something to work with, or whoever your name is back there, Rebecca. A dream. Or maybe not a dream. We're in some broken liminal space. Is there any part of the railing that is breakable at all, or is it just one solid rail going down?
I mean, you could try to break the railing. It is what keeps you from falling over whatever lies beyond.
Oh, so it's just black void. If I peer down with the light, do I see anything? No.
You do not. The light tries, it does, but it's a headlamp and it can only go so far. And it's starting to flicker.
You are still unamusing as ever. She walks down the stairs. She has one hand on the railing and the other hand is on the wall. Is the wall wooden? Is it like like plaster or stone?
It seems to be plaster. And Mrs. Finley, your chest is starting to get tight.
All right. Well, he wants me to go down the stairs, so she reaches into the pocket of the jeans and she pulls out the rosary that was Rebecca's that Kai pulled out of his dream slash the last experiment. And she kind of wraps it around, she loops it around her hand, almost like you would if you were about to punch something. She's not, but those are beads. They're probably going to break. She's like, all right. You can do some very uniquely talented things, Kai. So let's see if I can borrow that a little bit and see what happens. And I think using the rosary as an anchor point, she's going to press it against the wall and try to like push it as if she was like turning a doorknob to try to like force a door here to kind of push her way out of the stairs. Would that be a shadow roll?
It will be, though, before you do that. Is there anything that Dr. Thurston says or does? Roll with shadow.
And that is on the hero sheet. So that is not. It's not as good as Kai's, and that is a 6. So I guess that doesn't work.
That does not work.
So is that a point of insight or psychic damage?
Both. And in fact, Q,
Lovely.
make sure that you also check insight for the 1.
That's why I wanted the doorknob.
I did.
And so, Mrs. Finley, you know Andrew's tricks. You know that I has access to abilities you really couldn't even imagine. I mean, you couldn't imagine that Andrew would do something like this. But you're not Kai. And unlike Rachel and Siobhan and Weston and Russell, there is not enough of a connection there between the two of you.
Still too new.
You are still too new to being here. And so you push, and where that psychic damage comes in is that you feel those layers upon layers, and it is enormous. It is overwhelming, and you don't know what's going to happen if you try to push through. You don't know what this would mean for you. You don't know what this would mean for your husband.
All right. We'll put a pin
And you
in
don't
that.
want to lose him again. You just got him back.
30 seconds, I've had him back. And I'm not going to push this. We'll push a pin in this for now, and we will revisit it, maybe by pushing it into Thurston's eyes. Down the stairs we go. I suppose. Just gonna crack her shoulders and just kind of keep going until she reaches whatever is down there.
And we're going to circle back to each of you once more for tonight to see where each of you are going to be when we start next week, or 2 weeks from now, and the final confrontation between you and Dr. Thurston. And so we have left Dr. Finley there staring at a camera in the corner of the hallway. You see this, Dr. Thurston, and I'm wondering, how do you feel seeing that item there? What is the visceral reaction to something that you, much like Dr. Finley, can't comprehend? Because you didn't put it there.
Right. I think there is, at first, fear. There needs to be control for an experiment to be properly what's the word? Watched over, cared for. The frustration that someone is meddling in a way that he did not expect and did not wasn't able to catch like Russell. I think he feels anger and confusion, and I think then it dwindles into fear. As if perhaps I think he's realizing that perhaps he is just another patient himself. I think with that, though, alongside that fear, there is the smallest bit of comfort, and it might be forced comfort. I think he tells himself that it's as it should be. He said that he would continue the experiments, and this is just God watching.
And for you, Dr. Finley, that flickering that was happening increases. And there are moments within it as Dr. Thurston is caught up in these emotions where you see Russell, well, Weston, well, maybe Raven. It's hard to know. They're even flickering in and out, curled up, trying to sleep. And you see your wife, and also Kai and Rebecca making their way down these stairs, and any movement you make to go towards them, it turns back into a wall, but you catch these glimpses. But most importantly, you catch the briefest glimpse of Dr. Thurston, and he looks afraid. You are muted, Della.
Sorry. I think there is a moment where Finley looking at this item and he doesn't know really what it is, but he understands he knows Rachel's in here too. And the word surveillance surfaces. And that he understands. Then he sees Thurston. And for a moment, he begins summoning all of his own power, all of his own anger, everything. Heat shimmers around him as he tries to draw on everything he is, everything he has done, everything he could become, and just demolish his enemy. But a little voice drifts up from inside and says, "Now, Dr. Finley, one thing I know about surveillance and being watched is you don't let them know you know they're watching." What do you think if I take the body back for a moment? We'll see what he does with that maybe next time.
I think that is perfect. And as we move away from that conversation between Rachel and Dr. Finley, and we move back towards Weston and Russell and Raven. Dr. Thurston, what do we see in the background as Russell is sleeping?
I think when Russell closes his eyes, the waiting room begins to fall apart. The water, the fancy coffee, the comfortable chairs, the train set, snacks, and all that's there is the door. I think perhaps quietly the door opens as well.
And that is where we are going to pan away from Russell as he sleeps, not knowing that the world around him has fallen apart and fallen away. And the door opens and something moves in the shadows beyond. It's cute.
I would like to do one more roll as I dream. If you will have.
Oh, I will 110%.
Cool
Please.
beans. I would like to do another Echoes of the Past roll. Because what are dreams if not echoes of a past or maybe future? Who's to say? I guess we'll find out. Let's see how we do. That is a 10.
And because I think this will, given the incredible setup, come to you through dreams, it is up to you. You can tell me that you would like to wait on this, but if you have 2 questions in mind from that list, I will make sure you get the answers at the top of the next session.
I will absolutely wait and I'll get in touch with you with those questions.
I love it. And so, yes, we leave Russell, Weston, and Raven dreaming, but getting some important information even as the shadows move beyond. Mrs. Finley.
Yes.
What does she see when she reaches the end of the stairs, or is there an end?
There's an end. And as she reaches the final step, I think you look up. You've been accustomed to the darkness now for a little while, even with the flickering headlamp. That it might be a little surprising to see a familiar room. There's golden sunlight shining through the windows. The pews are lined up perfectly. the mural of the girls against the wall. I think you find yourself in a very familiar church.
Mural's different. It was not here before. Can work with a church. Work with a church.
And I think what we see, Mrs. Finley, as you cautiously move through, looking at the pews lined up, looking at the mural, your chest is getting tighter and tighter. And you're standing in front of that mural, the mural of the dead girls, which you have no context for, though others inside do.
Strange how they all have dark hair like I do. Well, not this body, my old original body.
And a chill goes down your spine when you think that. And you feel your breath catch in your throat. And then you feel that tightness growing and growing until you can't help it. There's something in there, there's something restricting your airway. You need to cough. You need to expel whatever that is, and so you do. And blood splatters on the mural as you fall to your knees in front of it. And that is where we are going to leave tonight's session.
Fucking TB Ward!
We all
Gave
had
me
a good
the
time
virus!
tonight.
He gave me the plague, this bitch!
Now we've all got tuberculosis. You know, this is all it's all gotten all fucked up. We're all
Consumption.
hanging out.
Ugh.
We thought we was gonna go to an island and have a nice time, and now we're haunted and we got tuberculosis. This is
Very peak goth.
I'm gonna be real honest. I did not think I was gonna come here to have a good time, but I
That's
am
fair.
here.
Fair enough.
We're having a time.
We're having
Having
a
a
time.
time.
Yeah, sure.
It's a fun time.
No. Mm-mm.
For moi, it is
Oh.
fun.
For you, hey.
Oh yeah, Thurston's
Hey.
having a great time.
Peace and love. Fuck you.
And so I know it is late. I'm going to have us do some outros. So tell everyone who you are, where they can find you, if they can find you on online spaces, and anything cool you want to plug coming up in the near future. Starting with you, Steph.
Oh boy! Hi, I'm Steph. I've been Kai, Martyr, Rebecca, Wet Rat, it's her unofficial name, official name at this point. She is the villain, and now Ivy Finley, who is the hero. You can find me at S Brown Writes on Nancy. Cat is screaming for JD on Blue Sky and the Hellfire site. You can also find me under the handle Lavenza in the Discord channel. You can catch me next time in Redacted, obviously, and then I don't think I have anything on the books yet. At some point. Saturday. Oh my god, brain's not working. This Saturday, catch us for Ward H, part of the Horizons and Halcyons offshoot of Academy H. We are in the Darkest Timeline. We're just 4 punks and a fish goddess. I'm a little fungal girl. We're on a mission to hopefully not have to go back to the evil juvie. It'll be a good time.
And
The evil what now?
Evil juvie. Juvenile
Juvie.
delinquent center.
Juvie. I heard juvie and I was like, what is that?
My brain is slowing down, so probably my words are too.
It's fully fine.
And Q, how about you? What do you have going on?
Hi, I'm Q. I played Weston, Russell, and a little bit Raven. He was there. He tried. Best of luck. Thoughts and prayers. You can find me on the internet at Midnight Inc. That's midnight_INQ. Q is my name. I'm sure you get it. I am going to be busy boy. Not so much this month. We're going to be doing things with class reunion. Yes, that is
Yes.
happening next. I am also a part of the team over at Tales from the Table Studios. We've got some things recording, so check that out. And then in February, over on Chaotic Wholesome, I will be running a series stream. It's going to be a little short for the month of February, called Body and Soul. It is going to be an all-black cast. We are going to have a good goddamn time. That is all I'm going to tell you for now. I am still working on it, but it is an exciting project, and I'm not nervous at all. Can you see that I'm not nervous here in my eyes? Help me.
It's gonna be so fucking incredible. Like, we're all so excited.
Thank you. I am very much so in love with what we have already started with. Like, we're talking behind the scenes, and I'm very excited. So I look forward to it.
Can't wait. And Della, I know you didn't get to introduce yourself at the outset.
I didn't get to introduce myself at the outset, but I am Della. I have been Dr. James Finley, who is the Dragon Playbook. And
Especially made for Della. I need you to understand that I made this playbook for her.
I pitched a character concept to JD, and he was like, interesting, and rewrote an entire playbook. Which, love you, bro. I guess I also was a little bit the bearer of the sacred flame, who is might be, you could probably, he's the villain playbook. He's the villain playbook. They're the villain playbook. Where can you see me next? Next time you can see me this Saturday, where I with four punks will be the fish goddess at Ward H. And then you can find me again next Thursday, the 18th, right back here. You can find me here on this stream, where I will be playing B, the gnomish wizard, who is very normal. And you can also find me at MagFest, where I will be randomly showing up places with a spinning wheel and drop spindles. I will then be back here for Redacted and some Ward H, and I will be also back for in Academy H, playing Blossom, the pale flowers that blossom on battlefields, Sibylid warrior, and general, they're the mom of the group, really.
I feel like that's the first time that's been said that I actually legitimately believe it. Well, Rachel. I believe that Rachel is also the mom of the group.
It's clearly Sophie.
I'm sorry. You know what? I misspoke. I'm so sorry. I got them confused for a moment.
I won't stand here for these lies. I won't have it. I simply will not.
I may also, post MagFest, may have some other interesting announcements as well. If you're going to be at MagFest, stop by. I and the other founders of LFTA will be running a panel there. So if you're around, show up. It'll be fun.
Yes, I am super excited to get to hopefully see that panel at some point from a distance. Because I cannot make it, alas. But it is exciting. And last but not least, I'm sad to say this because we're getting down to our last sessions with Raph, and my heart is breaking.
It's okay. I'm gonna make sure everybody, when I'm gone, they're like, "Thank God, thank God that's done."
That explains so much of tonight.
Anyway, hello, Raph. What's up? What's going on? Saturday, I'll be back here for Ward H as well. I'm one of the said punks. The punk from the past, really. So catch me there. Maybe I'll get to fight my present / future self, kick their ass. And then I will also be back here on Tuesday, technically Wednesday for me, for class reunion. Yeah, we're a big beefy boy who's just having a good time, honestly, and who's not eating his ravens because they all died. What? It's fine. Everything's fine. What else?
Okay, I'm on episode 4. Spoilers.
But spoilers. It's fine.
We'll get there.
You'll get there, and also you will never know when it's gonna happen. It just does. It's fine. What else? I think that's it, right? I don't know anymore. Anyway, good night.
And by that, Raph means good early morning.
Good early morning.
We truly appreciate their commitment to playing out these next couple of sessions of Redacted and Class Reunion so that we are able to have these moments with their characters before things change a bit. And yes, Raph, you are a legend.
Thank you.
Absolute legend in it.
Yes.
A legend that is sorry.
No worries at all. I'm gonna go quickly, because I know Raph needs to sleep, and the rest of us also need to sleep, for different reasons that are normal bedtimes, not abnormal bedtimes, because I sleep a normal amount, and my Fitbit validates this. My Fitbit validates this.
And you got receipts? Okay.
I got receipts.
Okay, you got receipts.
Okay.
All right.
Yep.
Cool.
All right.
I'll give you the screenshots of it.
Yeah.
Oh,
All right.
Cool.
Post the
All right.
screenshots.
I
Post the
will.
screenshots. Do it.
There better not be a watermark and I nowhere.
No tampering at all with the
No
data.
tampering.
It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So for LFTA overall, you can find us back on Saturday, as mentioned, and then also Sunday. Veilbreakers, our D&D game, will be back as well. We'll have plenty of stuff going on next week. And for me, you can find me next. God, when can you find me next? In Class Reunion next Tuesday. That is where you will find me. I'm playing Hunter, our Agender Ranger, and things are fine. They're meeting their great grandfather, and he's chill.
the oldest of daddy issues. Yep.
Will has said that his goal is to get me a father figure in every game, and I guess he delivered.
Is this the one you want?
I don't think you want this dad.
This is daddy?
This is grandpappy. You don't want that.
Right.
This is grandpapa?
Peepaw. Not
Grandpa.
I got all papaw. Come on now.
Geepaw. Geepaw is what my niece calls my father.
That's
That's very
adorable.
cute.
That is so adorable.
This one, not so much. Yeah, the one
Not
in
so
game, not so much
Not
adorable.
Geepaw.
No.
He gets
Not
no nice
Geepaw.
things.
Mm-mm.
Let's see. Other than that, you can find me with Lost Caravan next Wednesday for Cottages and Cerberus, where I'm just playing a little guy who has fire powers inside of him and way too many of those powers. And then I'll be back for Never Ember's Enigma on Thursday, where I am playing a totally normal character who is a normal human. Maybe has some stealing tendencies. Maybe has some alternate identities. Let's not worry about it. But the important thing is they have opening night for the play that they have been working on coming up. I'm
In a
sure
hot date
nothing.
where no one stalked them.
Yeah.
I don't know if I will ever get anything remotely like that at the rate things are going.
Didn't
'Cause
stalk you at the second one.
Either I'm being
Improvements.
stalked or I'm doing the stalking, and then my two love interests are about to meet each other.
Oh.
So 2 hands.
Ooh.
for
Rip
holding
does
mean-
have 2
2
hands.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, that is what I have on the agenda for the next couple of weeks. But with that, it has been late. It is late. I don't know what words are. It is
We're doing
time
great.
to finish this stream before I decompensate any further. So,
Good
say goodnight,
night.
cast.
Good night.
Night,
Good
cat.
night,
Good night,
guys.
Cass.
Bye.
Good night, everyone.